when I go deeper. You shake them hips slowly. So close to the...
What is up, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News, the only YouTube call-in D-Live, Twitter, Twitch, wherever we are. You're right here with us. We'll be right back after this.
Girl, I need to know. Body giving me a high when you getting low. Got 1,000 eyes on you when you move, and them thighs giving off a vibe that can shake the room. More than a snack, full-blown lunch.
No, you do not have deja vu. I forgot to press record. So, if you are on YouTube, the show started now. Forget about all that other stuff. We're going to get into the meat and the grit of today's news. Obviously, tons of really crazy stuff. We've got Dex here. We've already done a sound check. We are live here, and if you are watching this on YouTube, it is a premiere. I want to thank you guys for supporting me no matter what. So get into the news because this is all big stuff. Now you probably get it, huh? All right, so we're going to get into the news, Dex. If you have anything to say, just interrupt me or beep at me, whatever you need to do. First off, robots out of work as automated business closes in Bay Area. It says it has been a bad week for robots in San Francisco Bay Area. It says a Silicon Valley company that used robots to make its pizzas closed this week. And 3 coffee shops in downtown San Francisco that used robots as baristas also shuttered. It says Zoom Pizza said it was cutting 172 jobs in Mountain View and eliminating another 80 jobs at its facility in San Francisco. And it said that the chief executive, Alex Garden, made the announcement in an email to employees Wednesday. The Mountain View startup, which first began delivering pizzas in 2016, said it intends to focus on its food packaging and delivery systems. Garden said former employees will be able to apply for the 100 new positions Zoom expects to have its packaging business. In San Francisco, Cafe X closed 3 of its coffee shops in the financial districts. It says the startup's founder, Henry Liu, said that the downtown cafes helped develop the newest machine being used at the shops at San Francisco International Airport and Mineta San Jose International Airport. Now, it says, so Dex, as far as this goes, basically obviously we are always worried about robots replacing human beings. Was this the case and it didn't work out or something, or nobody's...
I'm not sure exactly what the causes are, but this is like the opposite news. It's like opposite day news, right? You're never going to hear this again, but here it is, We always talk about robots replacing humans, but in this case, the business is closed down with robots. So,
and I would say if you see a robot-run business, it might be fun to go in and take a picture or something, but you realize that nobody mindfully is going to run a business and completely staff it with robots if nobody goes there. The only way that robots replacing human beings for jobs is going to fly is if we let it. See, the reason why I know we're going to let this happen is people are going to do it for convenience and speed. They're going to say, I can go to Mr. Johnny Donald's over here burger place, and it takes me 5.5 minutes to get a burger. Or I can go to Mr. Roboto and get a burger in under 35 seconds, and I never have to wait. People will do that, even though that it sacrificed 25 jobs in the process. Just an opinion, I am never going to support a restaurant or a business that employs more robots than humans. That's just me. I don't care if I have to go that place. I will drive 40 miles out of my way to not do that. That's just how think that I'm helping. I don't know if it will, but again, this is something that we could stop. It's something that easily. Facial recognition in Walmart, facial recognition in gas stations. I showed you a couple weeks ago. I gave you video proof that these are popping up all over the country. And right now, they're popping up at the ghettoest gas stations, and they say, it's a high traffic area. In fact, that was the lady's in the bag response when my daughter asked. But these places, you literally have to look up the camera. A robot voice says, please look at camera. And if you do not look at camera, it will not use its machine and it will not let you in. Therefore, you literally have to do facial recognition, therefore, to get gas. Say you don't have your credit card and you can't do it at the pump, which, by the way, the pumps there had cameras. But again, this was to actually enter the building. So if you had cash for gas, you have to, 100% have to go inside that store to end up getting gas. That's a necessity. That's something you have to have. Now, it's okay because you can go to the gas station 2 blocks down. But what if it gets to the point where you cannot go down the street, where every single place that you go into has facial recognition that enters you in? You say, oh, this isn't even a problem yet. It is becoming one, and it will be in the next year and a half. You see that Walmart actually has had this on standby since 2013, and they are putting it in. We got pictures of all sorts of different entrances changing to Walmart all over the country. People, I think was it Bones Dex that sent in the first one, or was it Rip Curl? I think it was Rib Curl.
It was Rip Curl.
Rib Curl sent us the first picture. They just had a construction crew put in the new entrances, and it's got kind of like a floppy door thing, and basically you have to look up the facial recognition before it lets you through. This is extremely scary to me, considering the other news that we've covered with Ring Doorbell actually partnering with local police departments, and then Ring in general filing patents to add facial recognition to all of their products. Now that almost every person has a Ring on their door, and I'm exaggerating a bit, quite a bit, a lot of people have these Ring doorbells, Nests, and all these others. You are soon going to see whole neighborhoods where there's not a single house that does not have facial recognition. There won't be a single place where you will walk that has facial recognition. And get this, these beginning for the next 10 years, these aren't going to be the best. So imagine you're walking your dog in your own neighborhood, and then all of a sudden a SWAT team van pulls up, takes you in, and says you're under arrest for your warrant. And you say, what the hell are you talking about? Well, facial recognition matched you to a gentleman, blah, 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 Joe C. John Doe. And you have a warrant for murder, and who knows? They could, there could be a misunderstanding where they think you're somebody else and shoot you right there. Now, that sounds like it's totally exaggerated, and it probably is a little bit. But then again, this system has errors. In fact, my wife was not let in. I actually videotaped it several times. It would not let her in, and the woman had to manually override it and let her in because it thought it was somebody else, a local, that was there, and I thought that was weird. So basically, my wife's doppelganger shopped at this Tacoma gas station. Weird enough. But anyways, that's kind of, I never see this. They're closing it. That's freaking great. I think this is awesome that they're closing a place that's replacing humans with robots. More teams to investigate drones after close call with helicopter. So apparently those creepy drones that everybody's seeing in Colorado almost had a run-in with the helicopter. And now they say they are investigating. I asked you guys, how many of you actually believe that the government does not know whatsoever what these are? And almost every one of you said they know exactly what they are. But the FAA is playing dumb. The local sheriff's department doesn't know. I believe they don't know. You've got several agencies that are looking into it. They even hired somebody to fly a extremely high-tech plane with FLIR, heat-sensitive stuff, all this kind of tech gear on it to actually scan for these drones, and they haven't seen a report of it. You've got weird theories all the way from, these are the invisible aliens that the female astronaut was talking about last week, to that they are looking for lost nukes, which actually, if you look, there was reported lost nukes, and then all of a sudden they're looking all over this. There's another theory that we're supposed to be placing the new White House there because we're about to go to conflict. There's a lot of them. I really... Even the one, if you find the most logical one that you can, it's still creepy. You're talking about in-formation flying drones over states surveying the ground inch by inch. This could be earthquake related. We do know that they actually do, survey grounds, survey volcanoes, survey faults with drones, but we've never seen something like this. And we know it's real now. Now every agency is saying it. What if this was China? What if this was China flying over our place, like they got in right under our radar? These things are big enough to slip right under. What if they are actually surveying? Maybe they're looking for some sort of target. What's weird is these things have blinking lights. They look like regular planes, or at least that's what I've heard. The videos that you do have of them, they look like planes. Which, by the way, Dex, we did not show it last night, but I really wanted to show that tweet of that lady. Did you have a problem finding that? Is that why we didn't show it?
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I looked for it. Sorry about that.
That's all right. So we'll search for that. That video is very eerie. The woman is, you can tell that she's actually scared, and she's got video from right above So a Foogle family spotter, and she says that they are preparing for something big. Again, do I think that we need to be scared of something big? No, I think people shouldn't be afraid, period. I think it's not a way to live your life. There are lots of scary things out there, but what does sitting in fear do? We are going to be talking about some scary stuff here because things are escalating. And the MSM wants you to think, oh, we're going to conflict, all this. I think that all of the changes are happening right under our noses, and things are going to happen, smaller events that are going to happen, and they're going to change the way that we actually live. Mark my words, by next year, we will have some sort of new law or some sort of new thing that affects all of us personally due to an event that happens. And that, honestly, if you know what I mean, the stuff that happened in New Zealand, actually, a lot of platforms actually changed, and they changed their rules on live streaming because of how that guy did it. Things like that, right? An event happens, and then it changes the way the entire world works. You're talking about 2 billion people on YouTube. That's pretty nuts. All right, and then later on, we will get to super chats from last night. Thank you, guys. I do want to say thank you to everybody who actually financially supports this channel. It takes a lot of hours to put into it. We've never asked for it, and you guys still help us. Obviously, we do have operational costs, and we appreciate it because it's been pretty rough. So thank you guys for supporting us through thick and thin. All right, and then we've got U.S. Navy confirms it has another video of Nimitz UFO encounter yet to be released. It says the United States Navy has confirmed there is another video of the USS Nimitz UFO classified as secret, which is yet to be released. So this is one that we have not seen yet. It says footage of 2 U.S. Navy pilots encountering a mysterious tic-tac object off the coast of San Diego in 2004 has become one of the most famous UFO sightings of all time. But the hazy nature of the video, as well as its shortness, has led some to believe that there might be more clips hidden from the public. Well, I think that that's absolutely true, and essentially they're saying that there is a much longer, uncensored one hiding in some place. It would be crazy if T-Man actually made them release something like that, or if a FOIA request did. It says those speculations have now been confirmed after the Navy responded to a researcher's, that's so funny, Freedom of Information request. So they did a FOIA, and it actually did come back that there was more. Christian Lambright submitted a request on October 28th, 2019, saying, quote, "This request is to include all reasonable portions or records and reports related to the investigation of the detection and the encounters with the anomalous aerial vehicles, AAVs, by personnel involved with the Nimitz Carrier Strike Group operations off the western coast of the United States during the period of approximately 10 to 16 November 2004. So if you've seen this video, obviously, if you have not, it's gone very big. And the thing is you hear the pilots talking about it and they go, holy crap, we got it. You know, they're tracking it. And this thing is going way faster than any craft can. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. I don't know. Maybe it could be Superman. What if it was so? Something to think about. And if you guys want to protect yourself against EMP Shield, please do so with EMP Shield. There is no real other brand that is repped by Homeland Security, DOD, and the Texas Grid. You can't get pretty much better than that. If you go to marfooglenews.com, you will actually get a special deal going through us. In fact, I believe it's better than most others. And then also, as well, you will actually protect yourself against all 3 phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3. And you can actually do it on multiple devices. You can do it on your car, your boat, your ham radio even. They make one for that. Again, it can actually withstand. It basically grounds the signal before it fries your device. If you don't have a car to get where you're going, then what the heck is the point of it? If you don't have a generator to start when you actually get there, then what is the point of it? You wire this in, it's a permanent solution, and it can actually protect you. It can't help turn the grid back on, but it can, of course, help you get that generator running and get power going, which, again, you can't put your whole house in a cage. So if you want to do that, that actually supports us as well, put on this broadcast. Lockdown lifted at MacDill Air Force Base following reports of an active bang-bang. Florida's MacDill Air Force Base was briefly locked down Friday morning over concerns about an armed person outside of it. The base that just south of Tampa was locked down around 7 a.m. Eastern after police reported that an armed and dangerous suspect was near the Tanker Way gate. It says by 8 a.m. the lockdown was lifted and all of the base's gates except for the one at Tanker Way were opened, officials said. So if you want to read the rest of this, you can actually go to marfooglenews.com. It looks like there were no injuries and no passings, no deceased. So that's always good to hear. And then, of course, these hacking groups are eyeing power grids, says security company. Now, we have talked about this many times. Of course, this is something that is incredibly serious, and people don't even think about it. But, of course, we do. It says here, at least 3 hacking groups have the capability to interfere or disrupt power grids across the U.S., and the number of cybercriminal operations targeting electricity and other utilities is on the rise, according to a new report on the state of industrial control systems. Now, remember, we showed you the document that proved that since 2011 to 2019, there were over 400 different attacks and things that were reported, but then not reported by the Department of Energy. So you're talking about all these people reporting different things onto our grid, and then only one, it was a cyber attack and it was recent, was actually reported. Now everything is coming out. Since that came out and since people actually talked about it, people did not give up. People did FOIAs. Of course, there's a ton of things going on with our grid right now. So again, there's only so much you can do to protect yourself. You can't change the world around you. You can only change what you have. It says cybersecurity company Dragos said that the political and military tensions in the Gulf appear to coincide with the rise in interest in hacking groups targeting electricity grids, power companies, and other systems related to the utilities in the U.S. Now remember, places like Venezuela and others have actually their whole grid knocked out by hackers and by attacks on their grid. In fact, some have even accused us. So they're practicing for something here. Something is going on right now. It says the threat landscape focusing on electric utilities in North America is expansive and increasing, led by numerous intrusions into ICS networks for reconnaissance and research purposes, and ICS activity groups demonstrating new interest in the electric sector. So this is definitely a problem, and I don't understand why more people do not think of this on a regular basis. I even know preppers that don't. Now, Dex, we have actually covered a lot of this stuff. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, certainly it is a prize target for a hacking group to get into one of these systems. So I think it's, definitely something we're going to see more of. I think it's definitely one of those things that, they can hang on the wall and say, look what we did. I think there's a lot of value and a lot of monetary gains that they can get if they were to do some of the ransomware stuff that they've done. We've seen it done in the cities. And if they can get into a utility and do that, that's a huge opportunity for these criminals
what were the hacks that just recently happened? We had 4 cities that were compromised. We had Florida, we had California, Sacramento, Louisiana.
2 in Florida, and 1 in Louisiana, and another one in California. Yep. And those were all ransomware. They locked the cities down.
And they were into utilities, sanitation. We're talking about it's like they're adding employees in. One was specifically on background checks, like the technology that goes into background checks. So, Dex, am I crazy for thinking, so they hacked into a very specific part of the city's inner workings that does people's background checks? Do you think that there's just a slight possibility they could have gotten some of their sleeper cells into higher positions somehow?
I mean, anything is possible. And if they have the ability to get to those sections of their platforms, then yes, that's absolutely something that could be done.
We're talking about, out of all the things they ended up going for parts of the computer systems that actually dealt with background checks. That was that was actually put out there publicly, and nobody even caught that. I didn't see anybody else talking about that. One of our callers pointed it out before we found out that. That was when it was just Florida, I think. And then we found out about California and Louisiana. No, it was first Louisiana, then we found California, and then Florida. 2 places in Florida. Why would they be doing the middle of the country, the East Coast, and the West Coast? Think about it, folks. Just something to chew on. So something is going on. It says Xenotime is the hacking group behind the Triton cyber attack that disrupted oil and gas facilities in Saudi Arabia in 2017. This attack was tailored towards Triconnect's safety controllers, and researchers warned that this incident represented an escalation of ICS attacks due to its potential catastrophic capabilities and consequences. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong with some of these things. Of course, they could take off systems that, literally people could die. Obviously, if we lose all power, we are completely screwed. All right, and then we have House approves war powers resolution to restrict T-Man on Iran. Now, this is absolutely crazy. So, Dex, do you know why they're actually doing this? They're basically just showing
the
same
house that impeached him. So, yeah, we know why they're doing it. They don't want him to have any powers.
But, I mean, they're like being super obvious. They're like, we don't want our president to do what presidents do. They're basically
Correct.
saying he's like a 5-year-old in office or something.
Right. It's almost dysfunctional, our current state of affairs with Congress right now.
And they're literally trying to do this resolution to make it so he has to go through a formal thing through Congress to actually do military action. Do you realize how much stuff a president has to do that's confidential, and that if they even do something, even if they, somebody, an enemy sees that they're going through Congress, they'll know that they're doing something. He actually said that, it's going to give away secrecy. It says the House of Representatives delivered a sharp rebuke to President T-Man over his use of U.S. military power in the Middle East, approving a measure relating to the War Powers Resolution of 1983 to restrict his authority to strike Iran without congressional approval. The resolution passed by a vote from 224 to 194 and now goes to the Senate. 8 Democrats just joined Republicans in opposing the resolution, while 3 Republicans voted in favor. 7 of the 8 Democrats who voted with Republicans are freshmen. Oh, isn't that funny? So, freshmen in Congress means it's their first year, right?
Yep, their first term in.
Yeah, wow. It says the bill is known as a concurrent resolution, meaning it requires only the approval of both chambers of Congress and does not go to the president for his signature. Republicans argued that this makes the bill non-binding and largely symbolic. If you want to read the rest of this, you can go to marfooglenews.com. Of course, they are literally trying to stop him from doing what he's doing. So who knows? Maybe they got a heads up on what he's going to do. Then, of course, you have the U.S. unsuccessfully trying to kill a second Iranian military official. Or so they say. The failed airstrike in Yemen was aimed at Abdul Reza Shahali, an official with Iran Quds Force and key financiers for Iran's proxy wars. And it says, the American military unsuccessfully tried to kill a senior Iranian in Yemen on the same day that the drone strike took out Major General Qasem Soleimani, one of Iran's most important commanders. According to American officials, the disclosure of a second mission indicated an intensifying clash between Washington and Tehran. So, I know what we saw in this, Dex. You realize that even though we took out the head guy, just like you said the other night, that somebody's going to carry on the mission. And it's most likely this guy, which did not get killed. So
Yeah, Yeah, and it's interesting to wonder, like, how did we miss? Was it because of the timing? Like, they were both launched at the same day, but did word spread of Soleimani and getting hit, and then this guy changes his direction or something? I don't know.
Well, whatever happened, you're saying he says the reason he took out Soleimani is because he was plotting plans against the U.S. And now you see that same day, he said, we got to take these two guys out. The country is actually plotting to do horrible, horrific things to us, which eventually is, unless we take the whole country out, obviously there was something serious enough to take out, their general, that he was able to do a strike on both of those people. So if he missed that other guy, that means that other guy is probably, Soleimani's right hand. So Soleimani was the right hand to, the country, and then he was Soleimani's right hand. Or at least that's what it looks like. If he's not, then he's, horizontal from him, and he's got enough power to actually continue this on without it. So what is actually going to happen? What do they have planned? What kind of Fantastic Freddy does this mean we're in for? So obviously he got a heads up and he did not get killed. And it says the mission to kill Mr. Shalai shows that the team and administration was seeking to hit multiple officials from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which includes the Quds Force, and both organizations direct Iran's proxy forces in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. The successful strike in Iraq and the unsuccessful attack in Yemen were meant to knock the Guard Corps back on its heels, and some senior military and intelligence officials believe a drastic strike against the group would effectively damage Iran's ability to direct its proxy forces. So they missed him. Who knows what that means? It says that the Pentagon declined to confirm the strike, but Commander Rebecca Roberg, a Pentagon spokesman, noted that Yemen is, quote, long understood as a safe place for terrorists and other adversaries to the United States. No bueno. If you guys want to join Discord, obviously there's a lot of disasters that are possible in the United States, in the West Coast. Most importantly, the Cascadia subduction zone could very well trigger every earthquake on the West Coast. It is definitely important that you get in your state group and you prepare for this. Discord is free. It is an awesome service for you guys to go into. You can hang out there all day, all night. You can meet friends, everything in there. Again, you can go to marfooglenews.com to sign up for our alerts. You can also sign up for our notifications. That means we can actually also give you a notification that we're sending out an alert. I just hope you guys realize that. So you might not see that email, but if you get that email with the alert, then that's a lot better. Again, we use the alert system for giving you guys any information about the channel, but we also are going to use it for any time we find out information that is very important. So if we get word that something is going to hit the fan, we will let you guys know through that system as soon as possible. Now, if there's a missile heading at the U.S. in half an hour, obviously there's not time for us to do that. But if there's something, 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road, of course, we're going to let you know via the alert system. Discord is good for getting together, especially for creators, military, or even the regular audience members. You can actually start your own state group and meet in person and talk prep. So very, very important right now, more than anything. And then, of course, first on CNN, Russian warship aggressively approached U.S. destroyer in the Arabian Sea. We've talked about this many times, but apparently, in fact, we just had that guy call in who was on a carrier and said that he wasn't topside, but there were all these stories of the Russian ships coming in, and one of them actually sat right in front of the carrier, and the captain said, just, crank it. They basically drove through it like a car through, birds or something. They just said, oh, no, they'll move. And, of course, they did. So, this is not something new. But, again, right now, everybody is on edge. It says a Russian warship aggressively approached a U.S. Navy destroyer while it was operating in the North Arabian Sea Thursday, ignoring warnings from the U.S. vessel and increasing the risk of a collision, U.S. Navy and said Friday. If you want to read the rest of this article, you, of course, can go to marfooglenews.com to check it out.
And Adam, on marfooglenews.com, I recently just added the video from the U.S. Fifth Fleet that shows that ship.
And the video of, all of that going down. So make sure to go check it out. And then, of course, we've got the captain of U.S. aircraft carrier is Iranian American who fled to Iran during 1979. So this is actually something one of our viewers said to me the other day, and I was like, what? The captain of the Harry S. Truman, the one that everybody's concerned about being the subject of a Fantastic Freddy, the one that's parked out there like it's almost like a sitting duck. Yeah, that one. The captain is actually an Iranian captain. Super, a lot of people are just kind of just thinking about that. The Harry S. Truman, of course, we've talked about, was supposed to be retired in T-Man's own budget, but then, of course, all of a sudden he unretired it. He basically said, no, we're keeping it for a while, which made people think that essentially that, something's about to go down. Why would we need it if they considered it basically scrap at this point? It says, the man commanding the most formidable aircraft carrier in the Middle East fled Iran as a child to live in the United States. Captain Kavan Hazkimzadeh, who is at the helm of the USS Harry S. Truman, is an Iranian American who left Iran during the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Born in Texas to an Iranian father and an American mother, his family moved to his father's home country when he was a baby. He spent much of his childhood there. It says attending an international school and learning to speak Farsi and English. Wow. So, okay, just saying, but do you guys know actually how sleeper cells actually work? Did you know that some of them are actually born over there, come here, then go back? They go to special, basically like training school, then they come back for some reason. And then of course, some of them are actually born in the U.S. as U.S. citizens, and then they go through training all the way up until when they're basically being called on. I thought this was, I'm not saying that this gentleman is by any means, but it's kind of odd that that's the one sitting out in the Middle East there. It says in 1979, Hazkimzadeh's idyllic childhood was interrupted by the Islamic Revolution, which ended in the overthrow of the American-backed SNA and the institution of a Muslim theocracy in Iran. It says, as an 11-year-old, it was a little traumatic to have life as you know it completely changed like that. He told the Virginia Pilot in August, he goes, quote, I think it's probably a lot to do with why I decided I want to serve and wanted to be in this line of work. The family, which then also included his 9-year-old sister, caught a flight to U.S. just as the airport was closing and settled outside of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. After high school, Hazkimzadeh, now 51, enlisted in the Navy. In 1987, he received a Navy ROTC scholarship and graduated from Carnegie Mellon University, becoming a flight officer on the E-2 Hawkeye, a command described as a, quote, digital quarterback of combat missions. So he's actually been deployed 8 times in the aircraft carriers in Iraq, Afghanistan, and awarded medals, including the Legion of Merit and Bronze Star. So the guy's pretty much a badass as far as the Navy goes. And then we have Iran has a fleet of killer dolphins trained to blow up ships in attacks. I don't even want to say this word on either platform. Look at this. Can you guys believe this? So do you remember, Dex, just a few months ago when we covered that they found a dolphin with some sort of apparatus on it, and it was Russian, and they essentially didn't know what this dolphin was about. It was a dolphin, right? Or was it a? It was
I know. I think it was a whale. Was it a dolphin or a whale?
It was a killer whale. It was.
Yeah.
No.
But this is all tied. This is all tied to Russia. And it's not the same, but it is. It's the same, but not the exact same dolphins.
Well, you realize they actually have these things trained to literally go and destroy a ship. This is nuts. So when they see this, it looks like a dolphin's following the ship, and then boom, it all of a sudden has a hole in it. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard about. I mean, like literally, dolphins, of course, are incredibly smart. I mean, aren't they the second most smartest animal? Or I don't know.
They're up there. These are actually trained for submarines, and they could detect the different types of submarines based on their sounds to know the difference between Russian and U.S.
That is so insane. It says Iran has a fleet of dolphins specially trained to attack enemy ships in kamikaze-style missions. It says the military marine mammals were also trained to kill enemy frogmen, military scuba divers with harpoons strapped onto their heads. Are you effing kidding me? How did they test that? That's scary. Like, can you imagine dying like, what's his face, only by a dolphin? Originally trained by the Soviet Union in Russia, the dolphins are said to have been purchased by the Islamic Republic in the year 2000. The underwater troops were said to be able to tell the difference between Russian and American submarines by the sound of their underwater propulsion systems. Wow. They were trained to swim at the enemy ships with explosive sea mines strapped to them, blowing holes in their holes. That's actually what it says. Blowing holes in their holes. Trying to get the pronunciation here. So, this is dolphins we're talking about. Skipper, right? Only blowing your ass up. These would not be the kind of... flipper. Skipper, whatever. These would not be the kind of dolphins you could pet. It says the transfer of ownership to Iran came about when funding for the Russian project ran out of the Dolphins trainer. Boris Zurid took them on himself. The highly trained killers were forced to perform for tourists in a dolphinarium, but Zurid eventually ran out of money and food when the harsh winter months turned the paying public away. So, desperate to see his beloved aquatic squadron suffer, he sold them to Iran to be suicide killers. Yeah, he didn't want the animals to suffer. He wants them to go quickly and take out as many people as, he can with them. So imagine you see Flipper, and then Flipper like goes, and then kind of, ducks down, and you're like, whoa, is that a harpoon on Flipper? Like, that's some scary crap. It says the U.S. protested the selling of arms, killer dolphins in this case, to Iran, but Zurid told Russian newspaper Pravda that he was, quote, prepared to go to Allah or even to the devil as long as my animals will be okay there. Wow, that's incredible. He said he couldn't bear to see his animals starve, were out of medicine, which cost thousands of dollars, and have no more fish or food supplements. Wow. That's insanity.
You might think, oh, well, this was in the 2000s, right? This was a long time ago. These dolphins have a lifespan of 50 years. So, still viable.
So they are like in their peak. That's incredible. Absolutely nuts. If you guys want to help supporting the channel, you can do so by producing or actually purchasing earthing products. Of course, this is something that I personally do and I really do believe in, and I've done this for now almost a year, and it has actually changed my intestinal system. It's changed a lot of things. I have some serious health issues that I don't talk about, but again, some of the ones that I have talked about have been relieved by earthing. It's something that's been around for, forever. But it's something that people have been doing for decades and will swear by it. There are plenty of people in the Marfoogle family that will tell you this is something that Big Pharma does not like you to talk about. Of course, there's a lot of problems that can be solved just by going bare feet. But of course, if you don't have a yard inside your house, it's kind of inconvenient to go outside and stand forever. So if you get one of the mats, you can just put it on your bed and you go to sleep. That's it. Wake up feeling awesome and sleep well. All right. You can go to marfooglenews.com/earthing. Again, if you want to see the movie, the documentary that was done about Clint Ober, our partner, it has Amy Smart, Muriel Hemingway, and then Deepak Chopra. You, of course, can go to marfooglenews.com/GT. And there's a bunch of new stuff in there. And then, of course, Iran admits shooting down Ukrainian airliner, quote, unintentionally. So does anybody believe this BS? Iran has announced that its military unintentionally shot down a Ukrainian jetliner, killing all 176 people on board. It says the statement came on Saturday morning with a human error blamed for the downing of the plane. The jetliner, a Boeing 737 operated by Ukrainian International Airlines, went down on the outskirts of Tehran during a takeoff a few hours after Iran launched a barrage of missiles at U.S. forces in Iraq. It says Iran had denied for several days that the missile downed the aircraft, but then U.S. Canada, citing intelligence, said that they believed that they did shoot it down. The plane en route to the Ukrainian capital of Kiev was carrying 167 passengers and 9 crew members from several countries, including 82 Iranians, at least 63 Canadians, and 11 Ukrainians. So I also wonder, who exactly was on that ship? On that plane. There were no Americans on that flight. There were Germans, there was Italians, there was Canadians, Ukrainians. Of course, you had Iranians. No Americans, though. And then they had video of it. For some reason, before the explosion, somebody just happened to be holding their phone up, literally holding their phone up at a dark black sky. There's no moon. There's nothing to look at. Just waiting for something to go boom. It seemed kind of odd. And the guy's not even talking. He's just sitting there. Like, oh, I just have a feeling that a jetliner is going to be hit by a rocket. And I'm going to catch it on my phone. Everything smells kind of like a kamikaze dolphin. It smells a little fishy. And this was huge. It says, exclusive, Border Patrol circulates intel alert titled, quote, suspected suicide boomer en route to the U.S. After we talk about these kamikaze dolphins, and now they're saying on the borders as well. So just to repeat this was exclusive information, and I believe Breitbart is the one who actually came out with this. There was intel circulating the entire border patrol that they said that suicide bombers were coming over the border. This is a big deal. It says authorities along the U.S. border are on alert after receiving a law enforcement intelligence warning about possible suicide boomers heading north toward the U.S.-Mexico border. Breitbart obtained an exclusive copy of the leaked official document from a source operating under the umbrella of the Department of Homeland Security. The official report was circulated to law enforcement partners along the U.S. borders. The intelligence originated from Homeland Security investigations, and the report was circulated by Border Patrol intelligence. Breitbart confirmed the authenticity of the document with multiple law enforcement sources. However, the details contained within the report have not been verified by Breitbart. For the purpose of officials circulating the warning is to alert other authorities and to seek help in verifying the accuracy of the information. So it says the report being authentic does not verify that a suicide boomer is going to be headed towards the U.S.-Mexico border, but rather that such intelligence was received from a credible source or sources. So look at this thing. So they're not saying that they're headed towards the border. They're saying that they're coming here. So they got absolutely good and viable information that we're going to have these happen here. Now, if you think about it, Dex, we have not had this happen very much here. I mean, how often do you hear about this?
No, you don't. But I think even in this one, if you read the fine print there, did it say it was targeting Colorado?
Oh my gosh. On January 8,
As far
2020,
as en route.
Yuma Sector Operations Center received information from Homeland Security Investigations regarding a Guatemalan national. No further information, who was deported from California approximately a year ago. Information received claims that blank may attempt to smuggle 4 males and 1 female, suspected suicide bomber, of Middle Eastern descent into the United States. HSI reported that the group transited through Guatemala, Belize, and is currently in Veracruz, Mexico. The group is supposedly en route to San Luis Rio, Colorado, Sonora, and Mexico. HSI reported they received information that the group will be making entry into the U.S. through All-American Canal in the next couple of days. No specific time or location given. And this was last night, right? This was yesterday that we found this out?
Yeah, late last night.
And this is already 2 days old. Wow. This is incredible. We're talking about, something is going on. And then, of course, for days now, we've had these frickin' drones circling. Absolutely creepy. That is really, really, really creepy. It says, updated, Palm Beach Iranian national detained by police had knives, axe, and machete. Again, I kind of told you guys about how there's been a change in the kinds of attacks we had. We used to have kind of the mass thing. Then for a while there, we had cars ramming people. That was like the choice of all of these different attacks. You see these kind of like these copycat things, right? And then the recent thing that has been kind of, you see it too much now, is machete. Super weird. It says a man arrested by Palm Beach police this morning had $22,000, a machete, a pickaxe, in addition to knives in his possession, according to the officer of the department. The man, identified by his passport as Masoud Zola, an Iranian national, also had a car parked at Palm Beach International Airport, Public Information Officer Ogrenik said. Do you remember this Ogrenik? Do you remember when I specifically said we've heard this name before? We keep hearing it.
This is the same police department. Palm Beach is the same police department from Mar-a-Lago. So we've heard this name twice, this detective or sergeant's name twice, because there's been 2 different incidents at Mar-a-Lago. One just recently we talked about last night, where everything was redacted. We don't know a thing about what happened there. So obviously something bad.
Do you think that this was the guy? Do you think that this is what happened? And somebody paid him. Did somebody pay him $25,000 or something, and he spent some of it, or what? I mean, why would you have $22,000 in cash on you?
Yeah, maybe he just entered.
Zola was arrested just over the Flagler Memorial Bridge at Bradley Park. Initial reports said that he had several knives on him. Ogrenik said that the department received the call at 9:30 a.m. So what we're seeing here is that we're seeing that they're coming over. Like, this stuff is about to start here. Everybody's talking about WW3. Watch. I would say people watch around you, just in our regular cities. When we told you that there were sleeper cells almost everywhere, they said about 1 in 100 people in America is a sleeper cell. That's pretty insane. There's that many over here. And if you think about it, that's kind of like they send in their ops. That's their soldiers. They're on payrolls. These are actual sleeper cells that get taken care of to be over here. And when in the time comes that they're needed, boom, they're like that. They work normal jobs. They sit beside us. They're called sleeper cells for a reason. They're basically asleep until the government wakes them up. We have our people all over the world. I knew it's actually my wife's family friend. For 16 years of his life, He literally had to change his life. I mean, he had kids, a wife. They didn't see him for 16 years because he was part of such an important operation. But he went and lived as somebody else for 16 years to get close to somebody. That's how crazy that is, right? He literally went and lived somewhere else. Their family basically he was dead to his family. That's the kind of stuff that we do. These other countries do all the same stuff. And you're talking about that we have thousands and thousands and thousands of them that are all over the world doing different operations, different psyops, different all sorts of things. So pretty crazy if you ask me. If you do not have notifications, a lot of you have now signed up. We're close to 10,000, I think, that have signed up for this. Sign up for the notifications. It's super easy. When you go on your phone, there's a little red dot down there. Or if you're on a desktop, wherever you are, if you go to marfooglenews.com, you can actually sign up for our notifications. So whether we put out an alert, whether we put out an email, a video, a live, you're going to get the notification. So again, check that out. It will be on your phone, and you can even edit the notifications. You can make it, if you want to, you can hook it up to IFTT and have your light blink when our freaking show comes on. Or you can have an actual audible bell when we come live. If this is something that you want to watch every night, which I appreciate, go make sure to sign up for that. Website notifications are now available. Works with almost all browsers and Android. iOS is coming soon. Look for the prompt or click the bell in the bottom right-hand corner. All right, and then...
Adam.
Yeah.
Real quick before you get going, I just want to announce that I'm going to open the phone lines. So if people want to call in, now's the time to start.
All right, so the number is 224400-MARF. Again, that's the last four digits are 6273. So we now have 6 lines open. If you guys want to call in, the number is 224400-MARF. Let's see here. And I will speed that up a little bit. Let's see here. Just to make sure we've got the number there. Perfect. All right, again, and now we have 3 lines left. If you want to call in, get it in early, because otherwise, by the time we finish with the news, all of the lines are full. Again, that is 224400-6273. All right, and then T-Man tells Fox News Laura Ingraham 4 embassies were targeted in imminent threat from Iran. It says President T-Man told Laura Ingraham in an exclusive interview that the imminent threat from Iran provoked the United States to kill Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, involved in planning attacks on 4 U.S. embassies. See, a lot of people thought that he was planning attacks on just general locations in the U.S. No, but 4 embassies was enough to start a conflict. That would have started a war. So that's a big deal. It says President T-Man told Laura Ingraham in that exclusive interview that the imminent threat then provoked the United States to knock him off, and apparently that second gentleman that they failed on. It says, asked specifically what was targeted, Trump revealed that we will tell you that it was probably going to be the embassy in Baghdad. Wow. It says, pressed on whether large-scale attacks were planned for other embassies, the president said, I can reveal that I believe it probably would have been 4 embassies. Dex, he was like, I can probably tell you it was 4. It was on a Sunday. It was raining, and it was going to be at 6:34 p.m. But I won't tell you anything more. I promise. And it was by women. Dolphins. Trained by Russia. Not going to say anything else. Driving a Toyota Camry.
So true.
Camry with license plate ZX2-554. But I won't tell you anything more. and they were fat. Fat dolphins trained in Russia driving a Toyota Camry XX2-554. Toyota Camry. Okay, sorry, I'm done. The American embassy in Baghdad had already been attacked on New Year's Eve when demonstrators stormed the compound to protest American airstrikes. Again, Iran-backed militia members. But there has been confusion over whether additional attacks were being planned at the embassy after T-Man told reporters Thursday that the U.S. killed Soleimani because they were looking to blow up our embassy. Gosh, I don't want to say that out loud. Now the platforms I'm probably watched now. It says the administration has repeatedly said that the strike was an act of self-defense to prevent what it described as an imminent threat against U.S. interests and troops. See, I don't think it was the embassies, but that's just my personal opinion. Give me your opinion, or if you have news, if you have a video that you want us to see, give us a call at 224400-MARF. On the day that U.S. forces killed Soleimani, they launched another secret operation targeting a senior Iranian official in Yemen. If you want to read this article, you can go through. There's only a couple things in here that I wanted to point out. Dex, do you want to go over anything either?
Well, I think this is the other attack we talked about.
This had the stuff on it. So,
right.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see the photos, we actually have attached the actual website here that you can go over. There's a bunch of different slides of the different things that go over. So you can actually do that and see all of what we were talking about. It is pretty crazy. Again, the website is going to be on marfooglenews.com, linked at the bottom of the articles. That way you can see all of the gorgeous pictures of horrible things, I guess. And if I'll leave this up to you, Dex, because you are our Nord specialist. Dex, of course, is the tech genius here. Again, why should they support us by getting Nord?
Absolutely, Adam. So look, if you don't have a VPN and you're on the internet, you need one. Everybody should be using a VPN. It's a great way to hide your identity, protect your identity in a way that it doesn't allow hackers to necessarily infiltrate your home network whenever you're surfing and using the web. People will try to socially engineer you, and you don't realize it, and they try to capture your IP address and they try to infiltrate you. Using a VPN can help you with that. Also, if you're on a public Wi-Fi, using a VPN can actually secure your connection so that they can't see what you're doing, read your information, read your emails and all that information that's going on. So VPN actually helps with that greatly. NordVPN is so easy to use. It's literally like a light switch. You turn it on, you turn it off. You can put it on 6 devices, so you can use it on your phone, your computer, your other phone, your kid's phone. Whoever needs it, you can put it on there and share it and make it work. Great product. I've been using them for years. Real easy to get. Just go to marfooglenews.com/VPN.
Thank you, Dex. And then, of course, a portion of this goes to supporting broadcasts just like this. Again, it is a great way to hide yourself, and a lot of people actually do it so they can see different things on Netflix. You basically can place yourself somewhere else and get other content that you would never usually see. All right, and then of course, we have to do our thing to protect our butts. Nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably from myself, Dex, or anybody else that helps the show, including our wonderful mods. And then, of course, you should always do your own research and consult with professionals. So if somebody tells you should strap a laser on a dolphin and turn that into your 5-year-old's pet, you should probably go see a doctor and the Homeland Security officer that's probably watching you. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's see here. We just opened up the phone lines, and I'm going to first go over some of the super chats. So thank you, Heavenbound 813 says, for baby Violet, hugs and kisses, baby girl. Heavenbound 813, I also want to say thank you for being here for so long and always coming to the shows. no matter what time they are, no matter when they are, you have stuck up for me. You have been there for a long time. So I just really appreciate that. And thank you. Baby Violet says thank you. And of course, my wife, it was in the chat last night. She may be in the chat tonight as well. So you guys, it was fun for her to end up chatting with you guys as well. And then Cindy Borrell, flag laws are unconstitutional. Bottom line, I am having second thoughts on President T. Adam and Dex, you are the best. Well, thank you. I think here's the thing. A lot of the people about T-Man are actually getting frustrated with the fact that he, when you say shall not be infringed, it's shall not be infringed. So even that he's bending a little bit, but his supporters say, well, he has to do something for both sides. I get both sides of that story, but I've stressed that last year when he said, take the guns first, then go to court, as far as the, your neighbor could say that you're crazy and they could come to your house and take your guns. That's nuts, in my opinion. So I know that he has to appease some people, but that's nuts. Susan Donahue, get prepped up, get prayed up, and put on the full armor of God. Of course, the top supporters there, you of course will get a dedication in the shoutro. And yeah, Susan Donahue's the kind of person that says you don't have to. Well, too bad. I'm going to. Christy Angel, God bless you, Foogle fam. Much love. Thank you so much for supporting us. JT, love Marfoogle fam. Adam, Dex, Mods, and family. Venecchio Potashio Vrox Pit says, sup, Foogle fam. Thank you, Venecki, for always supporting too. Woodman49, thank you. And you will, of course, have your spot here on the ticker. Sherry Rogers, John and Sherry, we appreciate all of you. Dex and Mods do love. S. Nort, or Snort, good to be with you live. Keep up the great work. Thank you, S. Nort. You are awesome. And you, of course, are going to get a special shoutro tonight. Vibron, thank you so much for your support. You have a spot on the ticker. Not a sheep for us. Says thanks for all you, Dex, and the Mods do. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Jeremy B, know who the true enemy is. Thank you for your support and your super stickers and everything else that you've done in the prior. Type Girl says, is there a PayPal account? How can we donate to? Hate for YouTube to take a percentage from you. Type Girl, I just want to say thank you for your support. Also, we never had one for 2 years. Of course, now, as many of you guys know, we did open one because we were in the middle of expansion and then this happened. So yes, I don't like asking for it, but we do put anywhere from 8 to 12 hours in the show, especially now. I've been doing the 2.5, 3 hour show, and then I've been in chat for the same amount of time. So I actually do 2 shows, kind of. I appreciate you guys supporting Type Girl. I did see that, so thank you. You guys are all awesome. Obviously, I guess people don't realize, a lot of people hated on us for this, but, I went 2 years without doing it, and I put every single cent I had for a year back into the channel, back into making this a better thing to get more people and really to get you in and then to get you in the groups. I spend all at this point, I don't feel bad. I spend my off days spending it with the Foogle family members in the groups that are meeting in person. And you guys know this. Anybody that's been at a physical meeting, feel free to say something in the chat. I end up going from 2 hour Skype meetings. So at this point, honestly, I will tell you, I do not feel bad. We are not getting rich. We always get placed in extended advertising. So that's kind of why we need it. So thank you guys. That's just that's being real with you guys. That guy that put how much we make has no idea about truth channels. Even if we don't get demonetized and you see an ad on a video, you'll probably see either a T-Man ad or those slimy people that do the get rich quick Amazon drop ship crap. That's because they go for the penny ads. If you see that, then it's guaranteed it's put into basically not safe for everybody, and you don't get those personalized premium ads. That's what actually could support your creator. The other ones, much less. So I'm not complaining. You guys know I never do. But I do say thank you for the people, and I do appreciate when you guys do this. Northern Tiger, good job, Marf and Dex. Brandon Kaplinger, thanks for the updates. The Real Truth, thank you so much. You guys all have spots in the ticker. Anthony, Marf, please watch today's Highwire video. World Health Organization is lying. Thank you for getting the word out. Anthony, I actually checked it out last night. Thank you for the suggestion. Kevin Fugel fam, love to L. Michelle WV, CJ, Carolyn, Lisa, Dex, Alish, J Stone, shoot, too many Fugels. Oh, and Adam, you are a goofball. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. April Osborne, hi Adam, just had my surgery on Tuesday and I'm resting now. Keep up the good work. I'm loving the D-Live setup. Awesome. Thank you so much, April, and I hope you're here tonight. Sky Pilot, Teronius Oz, both of you guys, thank you for your support. And then Oz says, hopefully you got my mails at Dex. We checked. I think we did. Jonathan Esparza says, thank you, Adam, Dex Mods, and Tanya Vroman. Thanks, Marf, Dex, and Mods. Appreciate you. Cutie Pie Angelica, thank you very much. Paula McLennan. So now that that's out of the way, if you do want to end up super chatting during this premiere, you may do so, and it will be said tomorrow on the show, or now today, if you're, you get what I'm saying. Thank you guys for your support. We are actively trying to help. Also, Dex, do you know what the final number was on the raised money for Cars for Hero? So we ended up.
Oh wow!
We did a run. I put you on the spot there, but 100% of our proceeds from our T-shirts, from all the Marfia shirts, we did that run. All of the profits went for Cars for Heroes. So I think was it anywhere like it was like 500 something or 400 something. Either way, it was pretty awesome. We are going to end up doing that and kind of making some sort of event out of it. I don't know what we're going to do with that, but again, thank you guys for supporting that. People asked if we had...
Adam, you're right. It's right. It was right in that range between 500 and 600, I believe.
Okay, and again, we didn't do 10%, 5%, 50%. We did 100% of the proceeds from our shirts, our Marfia shirts, to go to that charity, and we're going to be doing that. We finished the thing and we cut it off. So there's still merch. You can go to the store, but the period, we're going to try to pick a different charity as well. Okay, and let's see here. All right, let's get that first call. We have Action Jackson on the phone. Bam. Action Jackson, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Hey, what's going on, Adam? I just had a quick thought. I noticed the earthquake activity really ticking up over there in Puerto Rico. And if anybody has heard anything, or if one of the family members down there might give us an update, because I can imagine living down there and all that. It's really going at it the past couple of days.
Yeah, what was the final number on it? Was it a 6.5? It was reduced from a 6.8, and then that was after another 6.3 or something like that?
Yeah, there's been, I believe, 3 6s, and then it's just, if there hasn't been over 100 4s, I would be shocked. It's almost, is it a... foreshock or aftershock? It's kind of, it's one of those things that kind of perplexing. And if you look at the way Dutch Sense explains it, it's kind of in a pinch point there.
Well, and there could be, a spot on the other side of the earth that's triggered from that. If you watch Dutch Sense, yeah, it could trigger an earthquake here.
Matter of fact, right. And that's been another concern too, because I noticed last week we had a lot of higher earthquakes up in the eastern rim of the Ring of Fire there, and you would think that they would travel over like Dutch Sense teaches, and he proves to be correct so far.
Well, we're looking at Puerto Rico mainly because any of these earthquakes, that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, it could be an antipode. The thing is it's not prediction isn't exact. They say it doesn't exist, but yet Dutch Sense has done an amazing job at doing it. And there's, got to be some reason why they're shutting him up, right? Look at all the things that they've done to him, but they haven't arrested him, haven't charged him with anything, but they literally have gone after him. It's pretty crazy.
Well, it's a shame that happens, but yeah, I definitely think he's onto something. But man, we really need to stay vigilant now more than ever. Can you imagine the mess we would be in if we happen to have a mass casualty disaster on top of a potential war, on top of an election year, and on top of this crooked Congress we got? I mean, it's just when I think I've seen it or heard it all, I wake up and see something new. It's you can't make this stuff up.
No, and it happens every day. The story that we came out, Stephen Hawking, of course, passed away, but that he actually did the math, and he said publicly that the Mayan calendar, because they double counted bank days, that basically that 2020 should be 2012. So the Mayan calendar, if they made a mistake,
weird.
2020 should be the end of the world. I haven't heard many people talking about it, but that's actually... Stephen Hawking was absolutely sure that under their calendar, it actually should end in 2020. That's kind of freaky.
Well, we also, Stephen Hawking could have been controlled by anybody, I mean, really.
Oh, no, I agree.
I mean, who all they were doing is controlling his voice box, who knows? But Mark, real quick, I wanted to get your opinion. If a guy was to be a new content creator, if you can speak on this, would you start off on D Live, or would you still go the YouTube route and transfer over, do both platforms?
Well, okay. Actually, no, that's a great question. I would start off on both, but I would first, if you're never been on camera, do D Live and stream to no one. And honestly, even if you're on YouTube, you're going to stream to no one, period.
Right.
And then you'll have one or two people find you. And what's really cool is if you look at it as a game, when you see one person watching, and then 2, then 3, and then the little things like, oh my gosh, I got 10 people watching. That's what I did when I was small. I was like, oh my, there's 10 people around the world watching, and then it was slowly 100, and then even when I was first starting out, it was like 500, 700, 1,000, and each little milestone, I was like really happy. So I think
you've been an inspiration, bro. I remember watching you when you go out on your breaks and stuff, and they were giving you all kinds of hell at work, and you stuck to it, and you're still sticking to it, man. I admire you.
I got fired for 2 jobs for this. Do you remember that?
Oh, I know.
When I was in my suit and tie.
Yeah, I remember all that mess, and you stuck it out, and I remember the night that you said all that. I'm doing this. I'm going all in, And man, it gave me goosebumps that night. You did that, and you mean a lot to a lot of people, Adam.
Well, thank you.
I really appreciate it.
I've
good work.
Don't do any more, but there was that one time I basically had the option. I was crying in my car, and I just got fired because I don't know if there was 2 different times, but. Basically, they said, you can take this minimum wage job, because I was in banking. People think that, Marf is making all this money. I made way more money. People expected that I came from hour being homeless. Hour. Yeah, and I made good money. I had a stable paycheck, and then got commission bonuses on top of stuff and all sorts of cool stuff, because I did credit card processing, all sorts of things, and then I was corporate, and it was like, I had the
But you weren't true to yourself, though.
Yeah, I hated it. And then I was around a bunch of extreme liberals. I have no problem with whatever side you're on, but the people that are they found out about the channel. Somebody said, "Oh, I didn't know you were a Republican," and I said, "I'm not. I don't even consider I just consider myself a little conservative, and I don't have a side. I just, And then they found out that I voted for the president I voted for, and then it was like, okay, you can. It's an at will state. One place fired me, and then the other offered me. The second time they found out, everybody was calling me Foogs and all this. They said, you can go to minimum wage, or you can turn in your resignation. So I said, F you, and I left. And then I did a video in my car, and that was the last time I did it. So, and I was broke for months. So
that's what it takes. So if we can't sacrifice just a minute, we're not going to find out the grass will be greener if you can sacrifice a second.
Well, just to let you know, if you're about to start, just know it's a grind. And I worked for the first 6-7 months I did this, and I didn't get anybody watching, and I still did it. So just don't give up and keep doing it.
All right. It's still an idea. We'll see what happens in the future, man. But like I said, I really appreciate it and everything else, and we look forward to hearing from you when you do get on. And good job keeping on.
Well, thank you. And Action Jackson,
go through what you've been through.
I just want to let you know, we'll shout you out and we'll get you. The only problem I see with the love mobs is I've seen like 2 out of 10 people, they think that it's always going to be like that, and that people are just that they're just going to have a channel. One thing it does take away from people is the work ethic that you have to have, and, actually trying to put effort into thinking about what would somebody want to watch. What does it look like? What does it sound like? So I'm just saying, when you put your stuff together, call in and we'll do a love mob, but just know that that's just your first amount of people. Then you have to do the rest. Well, thank you for calling in, Action Jackson. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a blessed day, okay?
You too. Thanks, bro. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Call in with that channel. Bye. And Action Jackson was one of my first subscribers. I remember he was there when I had like 18 subscribers, I want to say. Same with Real Truth and somebody else that has stuck around this whole time. That was a really rough time. All right, up next we have Sue. Sue is going to be live. There we go. There's Sue. Good old Sue. We have you live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Hi, Marfoogle. I'm from California, but technically from a tribe up north, from Hupa tribe. I'm calling regarding a story regarding the breaking May 12, 2020 Planet X information that Mike from around the world reported to Pastor Paul Begley back in November 2019. And I know Dex pulled up the background video regarding that. And I don't know if you have access to that.
So I've got it up. It says breaking May 12th, 2020. Is that what I was just kind of mentioning about how we were 8 years off?
That what?
Is this saying that the end of the world is around 2020? Is that what? I don't know. I'm just.
No, not around. No, not that the world's going to end. It's that the increased sun's heat and increased radiation level will increase not only by 18%, but that the anticipation that we're no longer sustained. We have. I don't know how to explain this. I don't want to get into too much detail, but basically, out in space, we have what we call, we're covered by optics. I don't know if you know that. And in the past, it was able to intercept optics coming near us. But it's anticipated in 2020, according to Mike from Around the World, who has been studying this, that we are no longer going to be able to sustain or able to intervene with increased clusters of asteroids heading to Earth, meaning that the Earth's protective shield is being pulled down, and most of them will be coming from the north. And that's basically the report.
Okay, so and they have a date on this. So this is an actual date that they put together. The thing is I've been trying to get a hold of Mike from around the world, but it seems like he's kind of an exclusive to Paul Begley. I don't mind having both of them on. I would love to talk to Paul too, but they're hard guys to get a hold of.
Right, I know. I have attempted to also, get a hold of them, but
well, just so you know, please, I want to say this to everybody. It is nothing personal when somebody. I know I have seen an email and replied to it, and they're like, I wrote this a year and a half ago, and I'm like, yeah, that's how far behind I am, because I'm only one person, and if you get anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 emails a day, there's no way. It's just not mathematically possible. And then people take offense to it. So I don't take offense to it, but I have been trying to reach out to them.
Oh, I don't either.
But yeah, no, you get it.
I'm a provider, and I'm very evidence-based, but back in 2019, it was noted that another object, such as a meteorite, intersected a meteor that was heading to Earth, thankfully protecting North America. So we don't always know what's coming towards us. I'm just putting it out there if anyone else wants to do further research, to put it out there.
Okay, and then do you think that they will get a good chunk of it if they watch this video breaking May 12th, 2020?
If not this, other dates pertaining to that or a parallel to that, if anyone else wants to do research regarding that.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. If you guys want to see Mike from around the world or Paul Begley or both of them on the show, head over to this video. We'll link it on our website and say the Foogle family sent us. Send love, send positive messages. Say, hey, Paul, love you. Hey, you know, you guys should work together or something to that matter. If you guys all go and comment, then hopefully maybe we could get them to tell us what is going on with this, because a lot of people are going to email me about this, and it's like, I'd love to talk to these guys. Right. That would get their attention.
I just wanted to put it out there. If anyone else, if anyone else wanted to do research regarding this date. So there's just a lot of disclaimers into the video, and anyway, I just wanted to put it out there. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Sue. You have a wonderful night. Be safe, and God bless, all right?
God bless. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Again, and if people go show love and say love, 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 that shows a lot. And that's why I don't show other people's videos and things like this to be considerate, because I don't have permission. But, I'm going to go over, and right after the show, I will most likely have this on and watch it. So, all right. And let's see here. I'm going to break into this. And if you are watching D Live, we will pop open the chest. At the very end, we actually have one of the biggest chests you can have at the end of it. And it all goes back to the viewers. The more you participate in the chat, the more stuff you do, more chances you have to get stuff when it comes out of that chest. Dex, I got your message. Looks like we got disconnected there. Okay, do we have Kari? Let's see here.
Adam.
Yes, I just pulled you back up. Sorry about that.
Okay, good. Cool. Yeah, I've got a caller I'm going to send in, but my phone's crashed, and I had some callers that are stuck in limbo. So I just wanted to make a quick announcement. If those callers are listening, which they probably are, hang up and call back in.
Are you okay?
Stuck on hold forever.
Are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you just had internet.
Crashed.
I just know
No,
you're in the
phone
zone
system,
with
yeah.
you know. There's all that storm stuff going on over there
Yeah,
too.
it's heading our way. Yeah, it's heading our way tonight. So yeah, it'll be hitting here in a little while later. But yeah, just if you're on the phones and you're on hold and your name's not Carrie, hang up and call back in. That's
So
all. Thank you.
Tedessa and others, please hang up and call back in, because if it crashes, we can't get back to those 6 lines. So Tedessa, we will make sure you get in there. Otherwise, we will call you back. And you have all the other people's number, right?
Yeah,
So-
I've been trying to call them. All right, I'm going to transfer Carrie now. Thanks, Adam.
Okay. I think it looks like a Kari, but I don't know. All right, and then we're going to pop up some stuff here. Is it Carrie or Kari? You are live on Marfoogle.
It's Carrie.
Carrie.
It's Carrie.
Okay, the Kari. I didn't know which way it went. Okay, so you wanted to talk about San Luis, Colorado drones. What's going on with that?
Well, I live right here in San Luis Valley, not far from San Luis, but I've been watching the drones, and they're making this arrow shape that would point right to here.
Now,
Which I think is very strange.
So you are actually saying they're in formation, and
Absolutely.
wow. Okay, so wait a second. Look at this.
They're not here yet, but they're on their way.
That's so weird. It says, I just found some random thing that said arrow-shaped drones. Let's see here. I was actually just looking for this.
The formation that they're making is like an arrow. It's not complete, and they're moving across, and if you point it directly where they're going, it's where I live. But you said something about San Luis, so I had to call. I'm in the San Luis Valley. And
you've seen them?
San Luis is a little... I haven't seen them yet, no, because I've seen the broadcast that you've done and some other things, but the way that they're forming, they're headed this way. They're coming to the southwest.
But you're saying, so you have not seen the drones then?
Oh no, but I'm watching for them.
Okay. Well, so in Colorado, there's going to be a lot of people looking up now, and it's weird because all these, normally people don't look for this kind of thing, but these things are 6 feet wide, and they're not like a normal plane. So people are going, "What the hell is going on here?"
I understand.
And they are
yeah.
in formation. So, well, is there anything else
That's
that you wanted to point out?
Well, where we live, it's kind of it's the highest alpine valley in the world, which there's not a lot of people who live up here. I'm at almost 8,000 feet above sea level, and but yeah, I mean, I was going to the grocery store. One other thing, I was going to the grocery store, and we've got some Iranian neighbors. I just kind of think it's strange because of where we are and why they would be here of all places.
Well, can I ask you this? You said you're at a super high elevation, right? 8,000 above sea level. Do you see why
right.
in an emergency they would have important people there in Colorado?
Well, I can see why, for many different reasons. Should there be some sort of major flood or disaster where it's such a high elevation, that we might be protected here. And as far as something happening on a different man-made type deal, I could see maybe at this elevation, maybe something would go lower. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, you had mentioned that. I live here. I've been watching, the drones, and how they're making their formation. And it's like an arrow that is, where they've been spotted, okay? And then it's coming down to a T. And if that T, it would land right where I am at this elevation.
Yeah, well, keep your eyes out for them, and I'd love to hear you report back. Carrie, I loved talking to you. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling
I hope
in.
you have no problem. Enjoyed it.
All right. You have a good night, okay?
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's just weird because you don't ever think about it, but sea level, right? Sea level's at the sea. And then 8,000 feet above, that is so much higher. I mean, these are whole cities that are, basically at the top of the hill. To give an example, that's what is a mile? 4,000 feet, Dex? I think it's like, I could be way wrong. How many feet?
5,280.
So that's over a mile in the sky. If you could imagine from here, that would be like going way higher than that's insane. That is really crazy. So if there was a flood or a tsunami or any kind of thing, you're kind of on this peak up in Colorado. So it's just weird to think about when you're up there. I mean, you literally have to cook differently because the altitude is so far up there. It's just weird. It's always tripped me out. All right. And then let's see here. Did you get Tedessa back on the phone?
Yeah. Is it not transferred to you?
Not yet.
Okay. Give me a second.
And still no. Where are we at? It D Live people. And still no. Let's see. Vivian, Luna Soul, thank you. I love the truth. I love beagles. Manas, hey, fear porn's over here. What's going on? Hello, you are live on Marfoogle TV. Is this Tedessa? Tedessa, are you there? Tedessa? Dex, you might have transferred the one that was thrown off or something?
All right. We'll hang up on that one and see if the next one comes in turn.
That's the fake Tedessa. We've got Cooter, Seek All Truth, Chris Green. Chris Green says he needs to make sure he gets the right amount for the Imperial Destroyer. Dude, I would love to freaking get that thing. That is something I don't think I'll ever get. I've gotten some of the UCS ones, but that one's just insane. Luna Soul, thank you for supporting. And the treasure chest is up to 277. Those are all going to be zipped out to you at the end. And Dex, nothing yet. Let's see. Jen Melissa, Shane 87, Einstein's mom, what is going on? And then we've got Tedessa, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Hi, I guess we're finally connecting. We've been having issues. How are you?
Sorry about that. Yeah, no problem. Tedessa, let's see. You wanted to talk about today Shanghai and some other things here.
No, I was just telling Dex that I just called to say hey, and I'm a first-time caller, and I don't really have a topic or anything I want to discuss about, but I just want to let you know that I appreciate you having this show, and it's the first time I'm calling you, but I've listened to you for about a year or so, since like somehow I heard about you around the fires that were happening out there in Paradise, California, like a year ago or something. Might have been through like Mike Morales' show or John X Army maybe or something. But since then, you've totally opened up my eyes to what is not even real around me. And I'm glad you got the show and that you have a strong family of people that appreciate you having the show. I mean, we were hanging out here for like an hour waiting for you tonight because you have an awesome show. I wish you could just like go live on our TVs every day.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate folks like you that watch every night and that follow me wherever we end up going. And so, out of all the things we've talked about this year, what do you think is the most concerning for 2020?
Everything around you, just open your eyes. You don't know what it's going to be. I have no idea. There's so much going on. What's going on, with across the sea to what's up in the sky, just everything. I'm just going to take one day at a time, be prepared. What can you do?
Well, I agree with
too
that.
much out there.
Well, Tedessa,
what you think was real isn't really real sometimes,
No, yeah, exactly. Tedessa, are you in Tennessee?
Yes.
I just wanted to tell you, I might be out there. Just wanted to say that. So, Tennessee folks, and then Kansas folks, and then California folks. There's 3 different things kind of in the 2020 year, so I might be in Tennessee. So, I'd love to meet everybody. I would love to go to all, 52 states. Just kidding. Somebody said.
If you hit the states, we're gonna find you. We'll come see you.
That would be lovely. It would be lovely. Well, is there anything else you wanted to say before we go?
Well, I mean, of course, everyone has a last moment thing to say, but I just want to let you know, originally, I'm from California, Northern California. I moved out here in 2001. Like, I was out there in the 89 quake living in San Francisco. I remember that. I feel for you all out there on the West Coast, but I didn't even know about the Cascadia until your show. And I'm so thankful that I'm out of there. But now I didn't know about the Madrid fault line near me until your show. So learning a lot. But I was actually lived in that town near me, Paradise, Magalia, California. My dad had built a house there, apparently in that fire that was a campfire. They burned it down. I mean, I have a friend that survived through that. She's in a FEMA camp down there in Gridley, California. I told her, wake up, but
Well,
people think I'm crazy. I'm so glad I got the family here.
No, yeah, and people are living in. Do you remember? I don't know if you saw the show, but when we talked about somebody was trying to rent their FEMA camper. The FEMA gave them like a camper, and they put a personal ad out saying, "Hey, we found a place, but we still have this FEMA camper. We'll rent it out to you for this year." And somebody obviously reported it, and they're like, "Are you kidding?" So they're letting you use this FEMA camper, and then you try to make money and sublease it. It was pretty screwed up, but yeah, no, there are people that are actually, if you don't know that, they are being basically. They don't have a home, so they're in kind of these FEMA areas with tents, and some of them get campers, some of them get nicer accommodations than others. It all depends on scenario. So, well, thank you to Tedessa for calling in, and I appreciate you.
Sure.
Well, you have a good night.
Well,
okay.
I appreciate you too.
All right.
Have a great show. You always do. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you, Tedessa. God bless. I thought she said I appreciate tuna. And I was like, 2, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Just 1 second while we transfer these calls. Sorry, Dex, if you can transfer that one more time. Sorry about that, Dex. I don't know if you heard me. That was an accident. So while we're doing that, lovely Stoats, thank you for coming in. Casper Sparks, Seattle Starlaw, what is going on? Trying to catch up here. Rusty Bumper says, okay, if he stabs himself with the zip tie, how many of us are going to laugh? That was good. Marfoogle TV, can I borrow a zip tie? Thought I had had scissors here somewhere. They got black zip ties, my dude. But then I couldn't do this. Does it remind you of a scene out of Final Destination? It's cord management. Sorry about that, Dex. You were turned down, Mr. Fabo Sr.
All right, I'm here. Yeah, I was saying that other call you had was probably the other Tedessa. We had a ghost in the phone system tonight.
Oh, man.
Crazy. Yeah, but check the screener.
Okay, perfect. So,
yeah.
What's nice is we served up all the calls. And we're time for fun time. Have a little episode there on my
I was wondering if somebody was going to bring up the zip tie. I've been dying to say something about it, but I was being very nice and just going to sit back and let it hang. Or point.
Let it hang. Well, man, it's late where you get... Okay, so just so you guys know, it's not normal for us to do a late show like this, especially on D-Live. This has got to be uploaded up to YouTube. So we cut this a little short. I'm going to be the thing is, I basically do this show, and then I will be over on the YouTube show as well. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna pop the chest. Our chest is up to 331 over here on D Live, which is basically like free crypto for you guys that are chatting and participating. So we're gonna give that out 3 minutes into the outro. This is officially the point where I make a fool out of myself. It's where I say every single name in the chat, or at least try. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. If you want to stick around and have fun and really get to the nitty gritty, then stick around. We will not be right back. You don't have to go home, and you can stay here.
But ain't nobody here trying to humble you, 'cause you just gonna move how you feel when it come to you. Hot sticky sauce, girl, you running through my mind like an obstacle course. Navigating from behind, but you know I
Thank you, Yvonne, Dusty Rhodes 211, Gavin 365, Oz Dreamtime, Tedessa, Snafu Snaps, Hacker Games 123. Thank you all for your support.
You got that serenity by. You sin the true seeker, the jaybird, the spy. The Apache upbeat, the sweet rims, and you know the truly true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kelly 1971 and the rest of the sea with the icy Hellraiser and Aliyah. The Chris Green and the Glenmore Beck, Anna and the Johnny Sherry, Retriever Mom, cause she's sworn. Bringing that psych nurse all the way down, and the Dominic and the Shane XC1. Red Jim one's got to do it all day. Peggy Sue and Felicia too. Thousand and the rest of the crew. Pick up Bert. And the rest of the world's coming out now.
A special thank you to Heaven Bound 13, Cindy L. Laurel, Susan Donahue, Christy Angel, JT, Vanecchia Patacchio, V-Rock Spit, Woodman 49, Sherry Rogers, and S. Snort. Thank you for supporting our channel. It's an interesting way to look at things. Yes, we hear. It's so clear that we gotta go. It's doing what we do like Betty So. Gotta do everything and always say yes. I gotta get my homeboy Shane XC. Yes, I'm about to bring it. Don't tread on me. Envy.
gotta see you with the manners and the Jaybird JG and the JG when we're overpriced salami. I'm out to see what I can't see, reading the gospel and the M. Krager and the rusty bumper and the channel Jim. I'm bringing it down, gonna smoke that mama from the Canadian ground. Cat cocaines in the 1, 2, 3 in the Burbank girl. Everybody sees in the Pego Meg and everybody be all the way, all the way. Looks like Aliyah was the luckiest and the B Crouch was the funniest. We got the crazy coyote and the Tiffany R. Gonna bring it like the Kingsmen with the R at the end. And Glen one gotta see it in the Trinity. Red pill, blue pill, I hold Kermit the Frog here and the Patchy Puppy. Gotta bring it back and now ain't no a cuphead. General, listen on them loves. Sandra Lee and all them fuzz. Gotta get the GR great on life. I gotta get it on, Mr. Baby, it right. Oh, yes, you know I'm gonna be. You know it. We've got our top contributors, Daryl Rodriguez, here for Real News, Sandra Lee, BJ Blake, Aunt Jenny, and Ira Lynn, Emma Zemenshing, and the Kingsmen Report, Luna Soul. Big ups, Kingmen's Report, I appreciate ya. Ilea, I always appreciate ya. I always appreciate you. The things that you do, the things that you do, the things that you do, the Kelly in need for me. Oh, oh. This song is dedicated to Heaven Bound 813. Heaven Bound 813, never got to see everything. It was behind the curtains and we rocked, we opened them right, straight on up, and we saw what was behind the rocks and all the veils closed, and we know that we never go, it's off the top of the dome. Amazing baby bean counter and the dusty roads, got them Nebsy 69 and the rest of them roads. Sandra Lee and retrieve that Papa Bear 59. 59. We've got the Root TV Cutie Pie Angelica. Thank you for being by my side. Phil, Billy, Bill, Phil, and whatever you want to say. It's a landfill that Aliyah sees with my May. I'm about to say what I want to say with May. B, not A, but Twinkle Butt. Gotta go back and now we say what? Angel 1975, gotta lead the way for the walking sky. Nickel 79, Bad Mama Gemma, John and Sherry. Thanks for being so amazing. So amazing. So amazing. Bobo Sr., we will be right over there. Jules, thank you for being here. Heaven bound 813, so me, so green. Got to see the way they do their things. Thank you for saying the things that you said for me. Thank you for saying for baby Violet, she is mine. Amazing little one, thank you for thinking of someone other than us. Oh. the same thing we walk down. It's all about that A13. Have it bound 813. Thank you for sticking by me.
It's time to go deep, but can I go deep?
And I think it's time to not go deep, sir. Thank you. Well, what we will do is we'll go Marv. This one's for Cindy L. Borrell. Thank you for your support. Flag laws are unconstitutional, bottom line. This one is for Cindy L. Borrell. Thank you for being on my side. Yes, you're totally right. Cindy L. Borrell. Red flag laws are unconstitutional, and that is the bottom line. We never give up our guns, never gonna go and we won't run. These colors don't run. We gonna be rocking it with the family. The Fugel family is gonna keep them guns. We gonna bury them out in the backyard. If we have to, if they come for ours, well, then we might just have to get our neighbor that's not registered with a weapon to get and keep our weapons. So when it goes down, we gotta get a neighbor. Hey, they can search my, and they won't find my, none of mine. But of course, since I did this episode, they will be checking with all of my neighbors, yo. Thank you, Cindy L. Borrell. Birdbanger, Bumsy, Jumpmaster, Jen Melissa, thank you guys. Jen Melissa says they can lick the barrel of my 45 if they want to take it. And the cops be like, I'm just around the world. Everybody knows, hey, we're gonna go riding down the street. Oh, oh. I've got my Susan down to you by my side, and now we ride. Gonna go, gonna go, gonna go. And if you didn't guess, this one's for Susan Donahue. Gonna ride, gonna ride, gonna rock, gonna do it all night. It's absolutely amazing that you guys come every single night. There's nothing like a good Fugel family to pump up your spirits.
My show would not be a show without people like Susan Donahue. Without you, we are nothing. Thank you so very much. Let Christy Angel to go. Hey Christy Angel, I wish you were so. I'm a family. Oh, got to go. I said I got to go. Never gonna go fly away. Not without you. Christy Angel. Thank you, Christy Angel, for being so complete and so complete. Thank you for supporting me. I don't know what I'd do without people like you. Without people like you, Christy Angel. I don't know what I would do. Thank you, Alice Cat 1, B Crouch, Northern Tiger, Tiffany R, Amy for Truth, Bad Mama Jamma, for being there for me. We're all one big family. You are all accepted, and you're not crazy. This shit is going down. Karma is here. Einstein's mom, I love you. I just wanna go. If it was about me, it would be about that bro from Mosey, walking that sky and doing what he does, and that gringo Loco 7-3 was doing exactly what he'd do, and Crazy Coyote was right next to him. Paul Revere 11 was saying that Apache Puppy was nothing, but that Tiffany R said it's going down, and now Northern Tiger says it's now. And now, good night, Frugal Fam, I'm out. I don't know if he's saying that or he's proud. Jim, it's daylight here, and I wouldn't say that it is here. Hey, Newberry 8 and Karma is here. I've got that Alice Cat 1 and the J-Stone 78, no fear. Trinity Red or Blue Pill here, Hi-Ho Kermit the Frog is now different. Cut off half that shit off her name right over here in Pogs. Or what I used to play when I was little, but Casper Sark says Yvonne is such an awesome person that Lee, spells it Lee, I. And B, that is, maybe extended her name, and Gringo Locals said the same, and Serenity P said reading the gospel is what we do with this key. Hey, gonna be something else, Sandra Lee, Pat leading Fox, and the rest of them gonna go back and jump Master Talk. Bud Ruckus and MD and E9. Hey, started Sarla and the sweet rims and fine. Hey, Newberry 8 and John and Sherry were hanging out with Speckled Freckles. Dex J said for him, and I didn't even say. This one is dedicated. I don't know why I stuttered there. Dedicated to JT. Thank you for your support last night. Venecchio Potashio V Rock Spit. Thank you for your support last night. Sherry Rogers. Thank you for your support last night. Sherry Rogers. Thank you for your support last night. Oh yes, that's right.
I just wish I could go home. Oh, I just wish I could go. If the Lord was listening, would he say, you're okay? Would the Lord put his hand on my belly and say, you will be okay? You'll live a long life. You'll be good, son. I wish you would. Sometimes I cry, wondering if I won't see my girls. When I grow up, I wish I was alive. Sometimes I look at others that are perfectly healthy. Sometimes I see someone that isn't got no gratitude. Instead, they don't care about the things that they have. Sometimes I cry when I see other guys jealous of others. When you got so much stuff yourself, you've got your looks and your hair, well, at least one of them. Hey, JT, Vanaki, but that Shiova Rock Spit and them friends with them. Woodman 49 and Sherry Rogers all hanging out, my friends. S with the Nord and the N in the middle and the or at the end is short. Vibron, not a sheep for us. Vibron, not a sheep for us. Vibron, not a sheep for us. Tide Girl, I appreciate you so freaking much. Thank you for reaching out and then even going a little above that. I really can't say enough thank you, you guys. Every night I'm thankful for all of you. And you know, we couldn't go one more time without the exit. Hey, Papa Bear 59, Carrie S, Nab Z, Retriever Mom, Arm for him, Felicia 2000. Thank you all for coming. And actually, we do have a chest. It's not that large, but we will pop it. Got the type, girl. Oh, do you have a type, girl? That is her name, and I'm gonna be rockin'. It's just how I do my outros. You can see me. If you could see me in the Brandon Capolina, I would be there with the real truth of singer. Hey, Anthony and the Kevin Vogel family, you were supporting me. I'm like, oh damn. Hey, Sky Pilot and Jeroni is Oz and Jonathan, Jonathan Osparza.
Thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to Cindy L. Burrell, Susan Donahue, Christy Angel, Heaven About 813, Vaneki Patachio, JT, Woodman49, and Type Girl. We just popped the chest again. Hopefully, the Spectrum, Liam, Karma is here, and B, Crouch are all very happy. Love you too, Trinity. Bye.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to marfuglenews.com and get Marfoogle alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local state group and get together with the Foogle fam. You'll find fast friends where you'll share prep and intel, and there's even special groups for former and current military. But don't try and steal the valor of those who have really served. It won't go well for you. The Marfoogle fam is waiting for you.